Hi there. Welcome to the Cup Night channel. My name is Shane, and this is another segment of Share the News, where I read some news article and try to extract some spiritual messages from it using the tarot and archetypes. Yeah. So this is based on the mirror principle, which is essentially a spiritual concept that means everything outside of you is a reflection of you, even news articles, right? So there's always something to find meaning in, what I believe. And that is the basis of these videos. So if you'd like to join me on this adventure, then let's dive right in. So FDA eases manufacturing rules to speed cell and gene therapy. Yeah. So this is a speeding up, right? Rules, regulations, blocks that were in place before are removed, allowing for innovation, for healing, really, because cell and gene therapy, right? Therapy. So, yeah, there's something at a very foundational, fundamental level, cell and gene therapy, very deep. And it's like the red tape, whatever it was that was blocking this healing from taking place before, is now being eased back. Like they're giving you that much more space to do the healing you need, right? It's like a sigh of relief is what it feels like to me. On the bottom of the tarot for the pre-shuffle, we have the devil. So to me, this is the blocks, right? This is everything that was standing in your way, getting in the way of the healing, right? And it is being eased and allowing for this confident expansion, right? Queen of Wands, confidence. Yeah, this magic to take place. Yeah, there's an expansion, Three of Wands. Voyage, right? This is broadening your horizons, looking out at the world, seeing what's out there and where you can go, what comes next. And there is this element of success and stability with the Four of Wands coming through as well. Foundational, right? Fours. They represent foundations, stability, structures. So, and then on the archetypes, we have these two are coming through, the maiden and the animal. So this is the maiden is like a fresh, female, nurturing energy, right? Very healing energy. And the animal, this is instinctual knowing of basically where to go, what to do, right? Sniffing something out. Like now that you have, it's like the animal was uncaged, right? The maiden voyage of this animal, kind of what's coming through here to me. And they already know where they want to go. They're not going to hesitate once they're out of the cage. They're free. They're just going to run wild, right? They're going to rejoin connection to source, the one. Yeah. So barriers being removed is immediately the initial impression I'm getting from this energy coming from this article. So let's read the first part here. I'll pull some more cards, see what else wants to come up. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration announced on January 11th, 2026, that it is relaxing chemistry, manufacturing, and control requirements for cell and gene therapies, a move officials say will accelerate patient access to these treatments. The decision marks a policy shift designed to recognize that these therapies are produced very differently from conventional pharmaceutical products. Regulatory flexibility must be tailored for cell and gene therapies, FDA Commissioner Marty Makary said in the announcement. These are common sense reforms that will address the unique characteristics of cell and gene therapies and foster more innovation. Yeah. So it's like there's this very specific process that you are a part of that has been restricted by rules and regulations and blockades related to something else. But you are like, well, that doesn't apply to me because that's not what I'm doing, right? I'm actually doing this, and you're telling me I need to conform to this process. But I'm actually doing this. That's kind of coming through as well, right? All right, so let's go a little bit deeper here. Pull some cards. What can we know? What else can we know about this? This relaxation on specific procedure. All right, I'm just going to pull a couple. On the bottom, we have the moon, the unconscious. Yeah, so there's those wild animals, right? There's a more domesticated dog here, and then the wolf on the side howling there. So there's this balance of the ruled and the unruled, right? Right? it's like, it's almost like your process was more of like a wolf variety, but somebody was trying to make you behave like a domesticated dog, right? And that might be a very harsh way of putting it. You get what I'm saying, right? It's like the rules that you need to live by in order for your process, your healing, your, insert X here, to play out correctly in a way that will allow it to grow and expand. It doesn't work with the rules, regulations that are applicable to this other thing. And there's something mysterious here about this whole process too, but the moon is a very feminine healing energy as well. We've got the Two of Wands decisions. Yeah. So obviously, this article is talking about a very big decision made by the FDA. So yeah, there was a decision that had to be made in order to kind of free you from this crossroads, right? To allow you to move forward, with your plans. Two of Wands, that's what it's about. It's about planning with your energy, your resources, what you're going to do next. But perhaps you were being blocked in some way. But that's changing. Ten of Swords, it's over. Yeah. This is a change in someone's mindset, a complete change in someone's mindset about now they see how you were stuck, in what way you were stuck, what was going on, and there's a big change that needed to take place in order to allow you to begin to expand to help people, right? We're talking about therapy, cell and gene therapy, like very fundamental, deep work that is attempting to be done here. And then justice, yeah, balancing out. It's restoring integrity to the situation. The rules and regulations that shouldn't apply to you no longer will. And there will be different rules and regulations for your specific scenario. Right. Okay, I like that. Get some archetypes, and then I'll go to the next section. Yeah, the judge. It can't get any more clear. The laws applicable to you for your specific scenario are changing. A judgment is being made, a decision, maybe even actually a legal decision. It's going to be different for all of us, but justice and the judge coming out together is very heavy legal energy, right? So yeah, there could be an actual legal judgment that helps to end some sort of block for you. That initiates a lot of healing. This message is going really closely together with the Pluto tarot reading I did earlier today as well. So you might want to check that video out as well. Prayers, yeah. This is something that you have been asking for. You've been praying for. You've been praying for a release from whatever this is. And it seems like it is changing. It is ending. And it's as a result of a balancing that was very necessary. You are being subjected to something that did not apply to you. And take that as a very abstract statement. So put it where it goes for you. It's going to be different for all of us, as I always say. But yeah, you've asked for this in some way. Maybe you literally prayed for this change to take place. There's an emphasis on masculine energy, the father. So this could involve a father figure of some sort. It doesn't have to be your actual father, but somebody who plays like a father figure type role in your life. The father also represents action and decisions. It's kind of similar to this judge energy, right? It's like taking action on this judgment, making it known, making it final. Like the FDA, they made the decision, right? The Two of Wands. They made the decision to ease these manufacturing rules related to these specific processes, freeing up the industry to grow and evolve and help people and be able to help people. So yeah, very interesting. Okay, let's go on to the next section here. It's a cool image here. Seeing these four little cells here. Looks like they're dividing, right? Something's being injected here as well. Obviously, this is representing some kind of gene or cell therapy that they do, right? But it's a very cool image. I love the colors here. Blue and silver. Yeah, heavy moon energy, right? It's coming through again. This is something very deep, right? The moon is like the deepest, darkest, right? It's the valley of shadows, right? So, and we have a pretty clear depiction of something that we can't see with our eyes, right? This is like microscopic levels of reality going on here. What changes? The FDA's Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research outlined flexibility in 3 key areas. For clinical development, manufacturers will no longer be expected to comply with certain Phase 2 and 3 manufacturing specifications typically required under the Code of Federal Regulations, and minor manufacturing changes between trial phases may now be permitted with adequate supporting data. Okay, so this is the nitty-gritty of what's going on here, right? We're not going to put too much stock into any of this. For commercial applications, the agency will consider more flexible post-approval manufacturing controls for biologics license applications, including the ability to revise product release specifications based on post-approval experience. The FDA has also dropped its requirement for 3 rounds of process performance qualification before commercial production in certain cases, allowing batch-by-batch design instead. Yeah, so they're just allowing them to iterate fast. This is just, whatever this is, without getting caught up in all the very nitty-gritty details of everything here, it's the way in which you have had to operate is changing in specific areas, which is going to allow you to move faster in whatever it was you were building, right? This mountain you were climbing. And yeah, underneath the mountain, the stone in the castle, yeah, they stayed together. Shuffled this deck after my last reading, and these 2 cards came out at the very beginning of the last reading I did for Pluto. So yeah, you're building your castle, and it's been a very hard mountain to climb, right? It's been very difficult, but it's like there's an easing here. Yeah, many blood, sweat, and tears. That's what I said in the last reading. It's just, it's spilling over into this one. It's connected. So your process is going to be, something is being eased for your process, whatever that is for you, whatever you've been working on. Very Capricornian energy. You've been striving towards something, building something up, right? And maybe many things. But yes. Vinay Prasad, director of CBER, attributed the changes to tremendous enthusiasm amongst product developers, resulting in an explosive growth of cell and gene therapy submissions, many of which target serious or life-threatening conditions with an unmet medical need. Yeah. So whatever it is, whether you realize it or not, it's important. It is important. You may not be doing like cell gene therapy. Maybe you are. I don't know. But if you are, let me know, because that's really cool. But you're doing something that matters. It's going to impact people in a very profound way, at a very deep level, whether you realize this or not. It will. And there's a recognition of this now. Somebody, there's integrity brought to the situation, right? Somebody realizes now that something has been unbalanced, and now there's balance being restored. And whether that somebody is an actual person, a judge, a lawyer, whatever, or the universe working for you in your situation, right? There is a balancing, and it is a result of something that you know has been out of balance and you've been praying for help for, essentially. Yeah, there's been a lot of confusion, a lot of darkness, a lot of hidden things going on behind the scenes, projections, people's shadows at play, right? This is the realm of the moon. It's when things are unclear, uncertain. And the only thing you can do is follow your instincts, right? That's the only way to get through the Valley of Shadows, the moon card, right? You have to follow your instincts, your intuition, rely on faith, and move in a balanced way. Temperance. Yeah, there's balance definitely being restored to the situation. You're going to be able to flow in harmony with your environment a lot better once this happens. Success, a reveal. We go from the moon, right, to temperance, to the sun. That's a wonderful transition. It's a balanced transition. I mean, the temperance is the balance between the sun and the moon, right? But yeah, it's like you're transitioning out of the Valley of Shadows. The sun is rising, and you're going to see what was happening, right? What was keeping you stuck, and then also you're going to have to integrate it, right? Temperance, justice. You're going to have to balance it out inside yourself, not just like, okay, well, that's over. I'm going to speed on. No, you need to take a moment, pause, reflect on what happened, where you are now, what lessons you can learn from what it was, whatever it is for you, and then integrate. And then move forward, because it's going to make you stronger if you do that. Otherwise, you're going to suppress something that's going to get buried in your subconscious and start acting out through your body, through your mental space, through your emotional space. And you're going to have to deal with it eventually anyway, so you might as well just go ahead and do it now while it's really at the front of your mind, and just put it to rest. Do a ritual. Let it go. Integrate. Let go. I'm not saying you can do all this in one night. It might take a while. But don't ignore it, is all I'm trying to say. building on the plausible mechanism pathway. The new requirements support the plausible mechanism pathway that Makari and Prasad outlined in the article published in the New England Journal of Medicine in November 2025. That framework aims to accelerate approvals for personalized therapies where well-characterized underlying abnormalities can be addressed, providing targets can be confirmed through modeling and improved clinical outcomes established. The pathway was inspired by baby KG, a newborn with carbamoyl phosphate synthase 1 deficiency, who became the world's first patient to receive a customized CRISPR gene editing therapy at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia in early 2025. Researchers designed and manufactured a treatment in just 6 months after diagnosis. That is crazy. That is so cool that that is even possible now. So no wonder they're changing the rules. There's evidence, right? There's evidence that what is being done works. And if we abstract this to a spiritual message, as we see this as a reflection of ourselves, there is something that you have done. There is evidence that it worked. And the restrictions that have been placed around it are going to be eased as a result of this because people or a person or whatever can now see that it is valuable and that it works. Industry context. The announcement comes as some major pharmaceutical companies have retreated from the sector. Takeda discontinued its cell therapy research in October 2025, while Belgian biotech Galapagos announced plans to wind down its cell therapy activities that same month after failing to secure satisfactory offers for the unit. CBER has approved close to 50 cell and gene therapies over the past decade. Despite recent pullbacks by some developers, the FDA emphasized that its flexibilities will enable progress while not compromising or undermining the FDA's ability to assure safety, purity, and potency of a product. Yeah. So, yeah, the restrictions around you are going to ease, but they're not going to completely go away. They're just going to allow you to grow, but also be safe while you're growing, which is great. Yeah, you got to have boundaries. Nothing can exist without boundaries. Our bodies are boundaries, right? We cannot be a person without the boundary of our skin, our bones, our organs, right? You cannot have a human experience without these boundaries. So, same thing here. In order for something to grow, it needs to be given a container, a shape, a threshold in which to operate. Because otherwise, it wouldn't be anything. It would just be nothing, right? Boundaries are creation. It's part of creation. And I don't know why I'm harping on that so much. I feel I need to say that. Maybe somebody needed to hear that. Okay. That's really cool. Let's get a couple of cards to close out the message here. Like I said, this message is highly related to the reading I did for Pluto today. You'll see that video. It's the one I did for January 12th, 2026. Yeah. So check that out if this is resonating for you. That one goes a bit deeper into the message and specifics of what may be going on with you right now. This one's more general, seems to be related to a freeing up of your process in some way, whatever your process is. All right, so what advice can we get to close out this message here? Please. I'll take that one. Page of Wands. Yeah, new ideas. The ability to start doing new things because now you have more freedom, right? The restrictions are relaxed. You are freed up to pursue things that maybe you couldn't before due to restrictions, whatever, lack of funds. Restrictions can be many things. Your environment, maybe you didn't have the right tools you needed because of certain restrictions, and now those restrictions are going away and you can gain access to these tools, right? I mean, finances has a lot to do with this, I feel. So maybe you are going to have some kind of income coming in to support you in what you are doing. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to pull two more to go with this Page of Wands, and then we'll close it out there. The Hermit on the bottom, spiritual enlightenment. Yeah, you've done a lot of inner work to get to the place that you're at now, and that process is paying off in a big way. Two of Pentacles, balance. Yeah, you've had to juggle, it's finances coming up, like Pentacles. It can be other things too, but heavily related to finances, right? And that's the energy that I feel most at the forefront of this here. So you've definitely had to walk a tightrope when it comes to your finances related to this venture, this process, project, whatever it is. And let's see, King of Pentacles. Yeah, here's the resources, the security, right? The stability that you need in order to keep going. yeah, restrictions around this are lightening up. Yeah, beautiful. Underneath the hermit, the star. You're going to be able to shine and really display yourself authentically in a much more obvious way, with much more ease and fluidity, right? She's literally pouring out water onto the earth, right? Into this pond, onto the earth. In complete harmony. Once again, this kind of gives me the vibes of the Temperance card too. She's in complete harmony with her environment here. So that is the message I have for you today. This FDA stuff with cell and gene therapies is really cool. It sounds like this is going to be a really good thing for the industry and for people who need these kinds of very specific therapies, right? It sounds like this industry is going to be able to rapidly cure things that maybe would have taken decades before to develop a cure or a therapy for to treat, right? So this is awesome news from at least what the article is saying, right? But yeah, you need anything from me, links in the description. Check those out. As always, take care of yourselves. Keep your heart open. Bye.